Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Wednesday as you are listening to the show today. It is The Valley Business Today, and it is the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber's turn at the mic, and we are talking about one of their programs that is one of my favorite programs. Danita Roble is pre-recording with us. She is the Director of Event Management for the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. We've got some 2021 graduates of the Community Leadership Program. So Danita, I'm so excited that this is what we're talking about today because it's something that's very near and dear to my heart.
Well, being that you were from the first class that happened 24 years ago, I bet it is near and dear to your heart. We've had a great 24 years of this. I'm standing in for Cynthia Schneider. She's actually the leader of CLP. So I'm excited to be here with this class of 2021 and with you, Janet Michael, who started the whole thing off. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for good or for bad. I'm glad to see that we weren't the first and last class. That gives me a little bit of, okay, we weren't that bad.
They kept doing it. That's a good sign.
So tell me about the program overall. What is it and how does it work?
Well, it's a 9-month program from September through May. And so right now we are looking to get new people for the 2022 class. The program begins with an orientation and that is followed up with monthly sessions about different parts of what it makes to have a community run, be organized. You hear from top leaders from each of the different specific topics, from nonprofits to this past week, we had the health and medical side where we heard from the top people there at Valley Health.
It really does kind of give you a sneak peek into all of the things that happen behind the scenes in our community that we probably as regular ordinary citizens aren't even aware of, and gives you a really insightful kind of perspective for what has to happen in order for all of the things we take for granted in our daily lives to actually happen.
I think you, as a student, probably see a lot more of what it takes than, yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head.
Now is the time for somebody who wants to get into the new class of 2022. How do they register?
You can give us a call here at the chamber at 540-662-4118. Contact the CEO, Cynthia Schneider, and she'll get you set up. She'll send you over an application, or you can go right on our website at www.regionalchamber.biz. Go to the CLP class through our calendar or through the sliders on the front, and you can register, or even just to find out some more information.
So we've got 3 graduates of the 2021 class, and I'm sure they've got quite a story to tell given they went through this class in the middle of a pandemic. So on the screen pre-recording with us today is Sierra Collins. She is with Sierra's Learnership Collaborative. Matt Martz, he is with the Management Group, and Ellie Williams-Thomaseb with NW Work. So you guys all went through the 2021 class. Ellie, I'm going to start with you. What was that like doing this leadership class in the middle of a pandemic?
Well, I think it really gave us an opportunity, both real world, right, watching the pandemic unfold, and then also in the group to look at what leadership looks like. And almost every single person we talked to during this program has had to make dramatic changes to either their business or their organization because of the pandemic. So it added an extra level, I think, for folks to really show what true leadership looks like and give us the opportunity to understand good leaders don't always know what the right answer is, but they're always on that journey. They're always on that path. And I think it gave us all an opportunity to think about ways that we can be good leaders in these uncertain times.
So there are 9 components: leadership, teamwork, nonprofits, community culture, agriculture, media, government, economic development, education, healthcare, public safety, the Sim Society, which was one of my favorites, and community problem solving. Matt, out of all of those 9, did you have a favorite?
I mean, I'll be honest, at the end of every session, I was kind of blown away. I mean, just how well put together the sessions were as a whole. Every one of them was fruitful. But I'd say, at least personally, based on my interests and the work that I'm in, I'd say the government and economic development was, I just thought, absolutely fascinating. I think that Friday, it was 3 or 4 panels of different groups that are all working to help keep Winchester, Frederick County, Clark moving, and how the complex government is, even for a small town like us. There's a lot of moving parts. So it was really fascinating to kind of get a peek under the hood of what that looks like.
And did you have the opportunity after each of the panels to speak with the people who were on the panel and kind of start to forge some sort of relationship with them to have and build moving forward?
And that was the greatest part. So, I mean, it just makes sense why the chamber is the house and kind of the real implementer for this program, because that's exactly how it works. Everybody that is either participating from the student level is networking and mingling and getting to know each other. And then the presenters are either former CLP graduates or other leaders in the industry. And they all came prepared with the information, pamphlets, business cards, and said, reach out to us. We're always looking for more input or getting involved. So, I mean, it's pretty remarkable. I just became a board member for one of the organizations that another student is involved with, that she's the executive director for. That is the epitome of the chamber right there. Networking, mingling, sharing ideas, collaborating. I mean, it's wonderful.
And Danita, that's kind of the overall goal for the program as a whole, is to have these people who are taking these classes and being involved in their community to then turn around and return the favor and get involved on boards of nonprofits to become leaders within their companies and their organizations.
Absolutely. Our purpose here at the Chamber, the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber, is to connect business and community resources for mutual success. So we love hearing stories like Matt's, where you make those connections and you become part of the givers of our community to build and be leaders and just be a really intricate part of what happens in this community. And thank you so much, Matt, for being so clear on what you know the chamber to be, because it is more than events and getting people together. While that's really important, because connection and building relationships is the foundation of all businesses. So thank you for your very eloquent way of describing the chamber.
You're going to end
Absolutely.
up in a PSA for the chamber, Matt. So just brace yourself.
Well, Danita knows I love the chamber. I'm a fairly new member, but I wholeheartedly believe in what the chamber does. And this program was one of my first kind of forays into getting involved. So, I mean, talk about a real success and buy-in right from jump.
So, Sierra, what was your favorite day or favorite topic?
That's really hard to say as well. I, like Matt, at the end of every one, thought that one was my favorite. So I actually looked through my binder before today, trying to look at my notes and really determine where my interests lied. And I have to say that all of the nonprofits in this area absolutely amaze me. And the hardest decision for me was deciding which ones I could support and how often, because there are so many that I wanted to just sign up for everything. How can I help you? How can I volunteer? What can I do? And so I've really built relationships with many of those nonprofits. And like Matt, I'm looking to serve on a board for one as well. And I also have to say that I love the chamber because I started my business during this pandemic, and they have helped me grow like you wouldn't believe in a period of 11 months. And I have built so many amazing relationships, met with so many great leaders within Winchester, Frederick County, Clark County, all over. And I attribute my success to my relationship with the chamber. So I'm very, very grateful for the program, all I've been able to take away, all these opportunities. And I've lived here my whole life, and I had no idea what it took to really lead such an effective community. I mean, people in Winchester, Clark County, Frederick County, they love each other so much and will do anything to support one another. And I'm just amazed at how everyone brings their strengths to the table and works as a team in this community to keep things going.
And Ellie, I would imagine being with an organization the size of NW Works, and they've been a chamber member too, I would guess, for a lot of years. You also had a unique perspective coming into a program like the leadership program.
Absolutely. I think it's really an amazing gift that we have in this community, that there are so many nonprofits. Sierra and Matt really touched on this, but those are often not necessarily considered when you think about businesses, right? You don't necessarily think about the nonprofits in your area, but the chamber has really given us this opportunity to highlight what they're doing and to give the business community the opportunity to get involved and to make a real difference. I think it was Dr. Fight over at Valley Health this past week with us actually mentioned this, that the business community can provide so many resources to organizations from a public health perspective or a nonprofit perspective and really make a difference. And it's such a great opportunity to kind of marry these two different groups. And that is just, I think, one of the real beautiful things about the chamber is that it really gives us all this opportunity.
Dr. Fight is one of my favorite people on this planet. So I'm so glad that he is involved, not just with the leadership program, but with the chamber and our community as a whole. So Ellie, did you have a favorite topic? Was it nonprofits, or did you go completely out of the box?
So the funny thing is I actually missed the nonprofit day because I figured I work in nonprofits and that can be the one day I could miss. But my favorite actually was public safety. And that was because over the past year, I mean, anybody who was paying attention to local politics in Winchester could talk about public safety in some capacity, but it isn't always the case that we have an opportunity to really talk with the folks who are boots on the ground, who are the first responders. And I think that people turn a lot of these issues into politics, where the reality is somebody is still going to show up when your house is on fire, regardless of your political party and what you believe in. And we really have to support those people. There are a lot of needs that our local fire and rescue squads are dealing with because they're volunteer based, that all of us, if we could just give them a couple hours a week, could make a real difference. And it doesn't need to be, we don't all need to become firefighters to help them out. Although that could be fun. Maybe a career change down the line.
I did the Citizens Fire Academy in Warren County a couple of years ago, and I would not make a very good firefighter because the equipment is really, really heavy. You're really, really dirty at the end of the day. So all hail to all of those on the front lines that are doing it for us. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about what your perception was before you took the program and what your perception is after, to give people who are thinking about maybe signing up in 2022 an idea of what they can expect and why it was such a great experience for you. Can we do that in the next segment?
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to be back in just a couple of minutes. It is the Valley Business Today on a Wednesday afternoon as you are listening to the show today. We, of course, have pre-recorded our conversation. We are chatting with Danita Roble. She is the Director of Event Management for the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Joining her on the screen are 3 2021 Community Leadership Program graduates, Sierra Collins, Matt Martz, and Ellie Williams Thomaseb. We're going to talk more with all of them when we come back in just a couple of minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a quick money chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Wednesday. As you are listening to the show today, that means it is the Valley Business today, and it is the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber's turn at the mic. We are pre-recording with Danita Roble. She is the Director of Event Management at the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Joining us on the screen are three graduates from the 2021 class of the Community Leadership Program: Sierra Collins with Sierra's Learnership Collaborative, Matt Martz from the Management Group, and Ellie Williams-Thomaseb with NW Works. So, Danita, before we get into a little bit more conversation with your recent grads, tell me again, how can people register for the 2022 class for Community Leadership?
Go to the Chamber website, which is www.regionalchamber.biz. Under Programs and Events, you'll see CLP. There's also a slider on the front. Just hit that. It takes you to the registration page. But if you want to make it a little easier, you can go ahead and give us a call here at the Chamber, 662-4118. That's a 540 area code. There is an application fee. It's just like, I think, $20 or $25, and submit your application for review. It is a 9-month commitment. It's a third Friday of each month. We make it real easy, so it's easy to mark your calendar. Most of the time, your business will help you to fund the class, because of all that you get from it and the doors that it opens. So give us a call. We're going to start our new class in September.
And typically you limit this to 30 people, and you don't necessarily have to live in Winchester, Frederick, or Clark counties, but as long as you work or live in one of those counties, you are automatically qualified to be able to apply.
Yeah, a couple, I think it was last year or the year before, we had several of our students that were coming over from different counties that were pretty far from here, but saw that it was a value for their community to bring the information back.
And I would imagine, we touched on this at the very top of the show, how COVID and the pandemic probably changed how you do this program now. But I can't imagine that it's changed a lot, because it was a good working formula from 24 years ago. Thanks, by the way, for diming me out at the top of the show. But a lot of panels, a lot of interaction, and you're still going to a lot of these locations. Like the education one typically is done at one of the schools or the school boards. Health and wellness is done at Valley Health. So you also get the physical kind of insight, not just the perspective from the panelists, right?
Absolutely. Last year and this year were more of a challenge because of the restrictions of getting in some of the public buildings. But I think that the way Cynthia did it, she pivoted. We found different places to be able to still meet. It wasn't too much of a variant this year. I think in the beginning of the year, where the guidelines were a little stricter with respect to our mandates, I think there was a little bit more that we had to do to prepare the class and to be able to still have something. But no, we still really tried to stay true, even though we're in a pandemic, tried to stay true to the program.
So, Sierra, when you first heard about the Community Leadership Program, were you just immediately all in? Did you have any reservations? What was your first take when you found out this was a program the Chamber offered?
I love learning. So I was actually all in from the beginning. I was in education for 10 years prior to starting my business. I thought, I know all about the community. I know the world of education, right? And so to see each session, we joke around that it was like drinking from a fire hose. To be able to see everything there is to see in one like sector in an 8-hour period, it's amazing how much information that you receive in that time. And I would say I could take this whole program, redo it again next year, and walk away with even more. I truly enjoyed every aspect of it. So yeah, I was all in from the beginning, but I love it so much I'd do it again if they'd let me.
Well, and she brings up a good question, Danita, because here I sit 24 years later, thinking about how much our
Mhm.
community has changed since 1997, it would really be of great benefit to me to go through the class again, or someone who maybe just went through it 5 years ago, even at the pace that
Absolutely.
things are changing. Can I take it a second time? Is that allowed?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that you brought up exactly the good points of wanting to redo the class. Was there so much changes especially in this area. I moved here from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in 1999, and what a difference from when I moved here till now. So much more going on. I think it's a great idea. As the chamber, we're constantly in conversation with what can we do better to serve our members and to serve our community. And we have toiled with CLP 2.0 for the graduate who wants to go through it again, but now they are leaders, and how can we create this program for somebody who's been through it and has also progressed in their career, progressed in their relationship with the community. We've thought about it. So I think it's a great idea to retake it, especially with 24 years later.
So, Matt, you just mentioned in the first segment that you're a relatively new member of the chamber. Were you at all concerned about giving up one day out of every month to be able to participate in this program? And was it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a small business owner. It's pretty much me that does the work. So giving up a Friday, even though it's a Friday and it was only once a month, I was a bit nervous. But I will say there's a reason why you just kind of have to disconnect for that day once a month, because each of these aspects, each of these programs are just so critical and they all come together. They're holistic. It's so important. My belief is it's about being a holistic community member. And that's what this program does. And so you really you end up wanting to be sucked in and affixed to whatever the subject matter is, because it's so fascinating. And I was a relatively new member. I didn't have a lot of relationships in the community. And so I was nervous, oh no, it's going to be like school all over again. I got to make new friends and I got to talk with folks. But I have made more relationships in the past 9 months than I have made in the 10 years that I've been out in Winchester. And so that alone to me was gold. And the fact that I got the chance to learn so many different aspects of the program, it made every moment of it worth it.
And quite frankly, we
Yeah,
as small business owners, we adapt and figure out how to work around that one day that we're not going to be answering the phones. We still check email
Yes.
in between. And Danita, this is an 8-hour day, but you're providing lunch. There are breaks. So if somebody needs to return a phone call or check an email, that's still an option for them as small business owners too, right?
Absolutely. We work that into the whole system to make sure that everybody has that connection if they need it.
But
And
honestly,
attendance,
don't even want to. You're having such a great time. You're kind of reconnecting with these folks that you saw last month, and you want to catch up, and you want to network while you're even in the class. So half the time you're kind of like, all right, I'll get it. I'll deal with it when we're done.
yeah. And one of the program things that we find very important is if you miss more than 2 classes, you can't graduate with your class. You can make up a class the following year and then graduate with that class or receive your certificate. But it's something that we hold very true because we feel that each topic builds on the other topic. And you work as a group in many things that happen throughout this 9 months. So one person gone makes a big difference at times, especially if maybe you're working on a community project or something like that. While we tried to extend some grace this year with respect to the pandemic, we did really feel like it was important to make sure that you are there for your 9 months that you commit to. But we do try to work in that time that you can still check in with your office or your family.
So, Ellie, were you the first person from NW Works to go through the leadership program?
Actually, no, we have a long history of sending folks on our leadership team into the program. So a lot of folks that I've worked with have either gone through it or are hoping to go through it in the future, which actually I think makes it really special because this is a tried and true process that the chamber has put together for us and we're taking full advantage of it. I just tapped another person and was like, "Hey, I think you should really do this program. It's a great opportunity. I just finished it, so it's your turn now."
So, Danita, how do people register? Because I'm sure we've sold way more than 30 people that are listening right now. You're going to have 50, 60, 75 people that now suddenly want to be part of this program. You're going to have to split it up and do 3 different programs. How do they register?
There you go. There you go. Give us a call here at the office if that would be the easiest way for you, 540-662-4118, or go on our website at www.regionalchamber.biz, and you can find the information on our website.
And I'm seriously going to consider signing back up again this year. I'm kind of in the camp that Sierra was. I've lived here all my life. I knew how a lot of this stuff worked. Just doing this radio show has taught me how little I actually know about our community. So I really kind of feel like I need a leadership refresher to come back through. So I'm really glad that this is a program that has held strong through a pandemic and through the last 24, 25 years.
I love the idea of it. Maybe you can help us to develop the 2.0 version for the graduating alum.
It'll come with a podcast.
There you go. Oh, we're going to podcast every session.
Yes. Well, thank all of you. I do appreciate you taking some time out of your day to tell me about your experiences in the community leadership program. It's been a great conversation.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Janet.
Thank all of you. And thank you, Janet. You always make this hour so special. And we love that you're so involved with the chamber and you know enough about it to speak about it. And you make it so easy. Thank you.
I know just enough. That's always my goal. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is a live show. It's the one live show a month I have been doing throughout this pandemic. So that means, of course, that it is Lieutenant Warren Gosnell from the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. Ellie mentioned earlier about public safety. That's what we talk about. It is Public Safety Thursday. So meet me back here tomorrow a few minutes after noon. We'll have that live conversation